All right, we're going to get things going here. My name is Steve Peter. I'm council president here in Somerville. I want to welcome you all here. Somerville has been democratic for the majority of the past 15 years or so, and we're going to turn the entire county democratic here very soon. Largely due to the efforts of our fearless chairwoman. You're our chairwoman too.
That's exactly right. That's it, right?
Now, a couple years ago, Peg was introducing dignitaries, and somehow she missed my name, and I said something. So today she's got payback. She's having me introduce folks. So if you're a dignitary and I don't introduce you, it's Peg's fault.
Or John. Blame John.
All right, so first we're going to introduce our, and I'm not going to be introducing the speakers, just the non-speaking dignitaries. So we've got our vice chair, Zenon Christodoulou, in the back there. We have our chairless Peggy Glicklick. Yeah. Holding the door there. From the state committee, we've got Joel Shane.
Joel, yeah, where is he?
Mike Goldberg.
Yeah, Mike.
We've got a couple of mayors here. We've got Mayor Ray Heck.
Yay, Mayor.
And Mayor Phil Kramer. And we have various council representatives. There's myself. With me from Somerville is Dennis Sullivan. James Kabuda, who's outside or right behind you now. See, behind every good man stands a good woman. Councilwoman Rajiv Prasad. Councilwoman Chanel Robinson. Councilman Charles Oniaka. Councilman Ted Chase.
Deputy Mayor.
Deputy Mayor. Yep.
There we go. No, Deputy Mayor.
Deputy Mayor. All right, and Councilman Vinnie Penny.
And Councilman Phil Fiodino.
All right. We did pretty well there. All right, now I'm going to turn things over to our esteemed county chairwoman, Peg.
So hey, Somerset County, are we ready to make history?
Yeah!
Are we ready to crack that tallest and hardest glass ceiling?
Yeah!
And are we ready to tackle the concrete ceiling in Somerset County? I'm thrilled today to have with us a really dear friend of Somerset County's. And it's people like this gentleman who are going to help us turn this county to the right color. We have, before I even let him speak though, I just need to say what I think you all feel in your heart. This is the most important election in our lifetimes. You know, some of you are young enough to not have seen very many elections, but those of us who have been around, it's a question of what America you want. You know, do you want an America run by this guy who hates Muslims? He's putting me in the kitchen. He's sending the Muslims someplace. He's sending the Indians back to India, the Chinese back to China, the black people into, you know, an internment camp. And, you know, she fights for children and families. He fights for his children and his bottom line. And the frustration that we all feel as good Democrats in this county is we sit there and say, who are these people? They are not the people in this room, and I think, frankly, because of what's so scary about the prospect of a president named something that rhymes with bump. I can't even say it out loud. The scary part of that is what's getting people out in Somerset County. We have an opportunity here, the likes of which we've never seen, and it's, as I said before, there's our special guest today has been a good friend of Somerset's from the beginning, and frankly, I'm going to tell you a secret. I was actually a fan of Phil's a long time ago. I just never got around to endorsing him. We still can't do it now until after the election simply because of what we've been saying. But frankly, we will be very special and very, very happy and will feel special to have a governor like Phil Murphy next year. And I've said to him and I've said it to Darrin and Doug, if we win in Somerset County, a lot of the credit goes to Ambassador Phil Murphy. So with that said, it's my honor to introduce him to you, my friend Phil.
What an introduction. Hello, sir. It is so good to be here. Thank you so much for having me, everybody. Everyone feeling good?
Yeah.
I said to Darrin, how you feeling? He said, tired. I can see that. Peg, you do extraordinary work as chair here. Let's get up for Peg Schaffer. Zenon and the rest of your team, this is a county which is a pleasure to come to. I come here often. I've been coming here for the past going on 3 years. And I love coming here, and I love coming here today. I've gotten to know Darrin. I now know not only his wife and his kids, but his mom and dad, who are here today. This guy is going to make a terrific sheriff of this county. And the position of sheriff has never been more important, given all that we're dealing with as a country. So this is a very consequential position, and Darrin, you're going to be great at it. We got to all help him sprint through the tape on Tuesday, because we got 3 days to go. Those are 3 very valuable days. And Doug is a terrific freeholder candidate. And you know what, Doug? We may get them looking the other way and steal that one back, but it's because you're a very special guy. So God bless you guys. And I'd say the same thing on Peter Jenkins. I don't think that they're prepared for the quality of the candidate that we've got. And frankly, we may catch them looking the other way. And Peter, we're with you, and we're going to help you run through the tape on Tuesday as well. So let's hear it for you. And by the way, lots of local races with huge consequence in this county. And as Peg and I have discussed, this is a potential wave election. Now, it's tightened nationally, but that still doesn't mean in New Jersey it is tightened. And so we've got a lot of communities in Somerset County where they've got control, we've got quality candidates, we're trying to reach in and rip a couple seats back from them. And then we've got a few communities, a few townships where we've got our candidates as incumbents, and they're trying to reach in and pull them from us, and we got to defend them. We've got more of the former than the latter, but that means we've got big potential for pickup here. And you know what? I'm a Howard Dean guy. Howard Dean was in New Jersey last week for us. God bless him. And he taught me the whole 50-state strategy thing, which is, by the way, for me, the 21-county thing. And so we're speaking the same language in Somerset County. I guarantee you that. The whole ballot counts. Frankly, as you get closer to the ground, closer to the bottom, you're closer to what really impacts citizens and communities more than what happens at the top in many respects. But that every position on that ballot counts, every vote counts, and there's no better county in this state right now that can embody that sort of Howard Dean notion of a wave election with big pickups both locally and right up the top of the ballot. So I take my hat off to each and every one of you. And to all of our local candidates, let's get it up for you all, because you deserve it. I will try, but I cannot match the quality of the rhetoric with which Peg started and talked about what's at stake next Tuesday at the very top of the ballot. But I will try in my own small way to capture it from my vantage point. I do think that, I said this earlier in Newark today, this is an election for the soul of America. And the choices could not be starker. This is not, we're not saying, Mitt Romney, frankly, I didn't agree with him on most stuff, but he wasn't a bad guy. He loved his country. He's qualified. Our guy was better.
He was a Republican.
He was a Republican, right? By the way, how's our guy doing, huh? Let's hear it for the President of the United States of America. I must now quote him in his new sort of tagline. Come on, man! Come on, man! I love that. I'm thinking to myself, we have come to hold, the guy on the other side against Hillary Clinton. I've lived in Germany twice in my life. And I say this with great gravity, and unfortunately, it can be verified. I've lived in Germany as a private citizen and as the United States ambassador to Germany. I'm a student of German history. You can fill in the blank on what people said about somebody else in the 1920s and 30s in Germany that they're saying about Donald Trump today. And let us not make any doubt about that. You can fill in the blank. Please God, the drama and the story doesn't end the way it ended there. But that's what we're dealing with. And then on our side, Hillary Rodham Clinton. Somebody, somebody who is being held up to a standard unlike any standard ever applied to any candidate ever to run for president in our country's history. Literally, that she's got to be perfect. You know, emails, schleemails, whatever it might be, the focus is constantly on what she's not as opposed to what she is. And so I was thinking to myself, forget about pre-World War II in Germany. Let's talk about post-World War II in America. Harry Truman, a hayseed, I quote the common wisdom at the time, from Missouri, gets elected and turns out to be a great American president. John Kennedy, father has too much money, bought the election, too young, landed gentry, beats Richard Nixon by less than 120,000 votes. Not a perfect candidate, a great president. Lyndon Johnson gets elected in a landslide in a C-shift election like we hope we'll see this year, and puts through the Great Society, many elements of which we live off to this very day, but certainly a flawed human and a flawed candidate. Jimmy Carter, a peanut farmer from Georgia, and all the noise around then, an outstanding president. Bill Clinton, you see the 1988 Democratic Convention where he gave the keynote speech? It was so long, people were giving him hand signals to get off the stage. He was both the youngest governor ever elected in our country and the youngest governor ever to lose in this country. And he went on to be a two-term outstanding president of the United States. And I remember hearing Barack Obama's name for the first time in 2002 or 2003. He'd just gotten his doors blown off by Bobby Rush in a primary for the House of Representatives in Chicago. He's got that funny name. He was one of 7 running for the Senate, the U.S. Senate in 2004, and he was viewed to be dead last in those 7. On this one, I'd say he may not be perfect, but he's pretty darn close. Pretty darn close. And of course, he's an extraordinary president. And he right now, for all the Republicans talk about Reagan, his ratings right now dwarf what Reagan's ratings were in November of his last year as president, for good reason. So those are all, I say all that because those are all imperfect candidates, all Democrats, and what do they have in common? We elected them. And they all did a darn good job as President of the United States of America. And now along comes a woman who is being held up to a standard. Well, let me just say with all respect to Truman, Kennedy, Johnson, Carter, Clinton, and Obama, she is the most qualified candidate we have ever put forward for President of the United States of America. And let's not forget that. I met her, I shook hands with her first on the campus of Wellesley College, her alma mater, when she was First Lady of Arkansas. And even before then, when she had gone to Wellesley and Yale Law School, she was working on behalf of children and women and healthcare. That's been a consistent theme in her life, typically with no credit, typically out of the limelight, even as First Lady in Arkansas. She extended that work as First Lady of the United States and laid the tracks down for what ultimately is the closest thing we've ever gotten to universal health care today. She went on to become an extraordinary senator in New York, including in very difficult moments, in particular after 9/11, where she did great work. She's not run for president once, she's run twice, and history will prove that she probably lost to one of the greatest presidents and campaigners of all time, and almost beat him. She is now our nominee. She was my boss as Secretary of State. So I know her as a boss. She's the best boss I've ever had. So all the stuff we read about her is written by people who don't know her, who haven't worked for her, who don't understand how good she is. And here she is now as our nominee for President of the United States, and all I can say to you is how lucky are we. We've never had someone more qualified. But we can't wish this to happen. We can't hope it to happen. We got to get on the streets and make sure we vote it to happen on Tuesday. And I would say to you, I think, Peg, we have to both walk and chew gum at the same time. Meaning we have to get the vote out in a big way in places like Somerset County. But for all of us who have friends in other states in the country or family, we got to get on the phone. We got to make sure we're making sure she wins in places like Pennsylvania, which is the easiest place for all of us to get to between now and Tuesday. That she's winning in North Carolina and Virginia and Florida and Ohio and Michigan, where it's gotten closer, unfortunately, or in Nevada, Arizona, Missouri. All places, if anyone has anyone in those states or any of the other battleground states, don't leave any stone not unturned. Turn every single stone over. So again, we got to walk, meaning we got to crush it here in Somerset County and get the whole ballot across the goal line. But we got to chew gum. We got to make sure we're either getting on a bus or we're calling people. Peg doesn't want us leaving. We use the phones, emails, whatever it takes. Make sure that you leave no stones unturned. I'm so honored to be here with you this afternoon. God bless you all. Let's go out there and kick some complete butt on Tuesday.
So this guy's amazing, but I have to take issue with you, Ambassador.
No buses.
No buses.
I know.
You have to stay in Somerset. I actually talked.
How about if the bus is coming here?
Yeah.
What if the bus is coming here?
Right here.
That's a good point.
We're calling for Hillary.
Bring him down
and
from
we'll even call
Massachusetts.
into Pennsylvania if we get through all of Somerset County first. We can sit here and call into Pennsylvania and Ohio. How's that?
I love it. I love it.
So let's give it another round of applause to the Ambassador. Because I'm making you stay in this county, and literally we're going to try to like handcuff you if we have to hold you here and keep you here and not let you. A couple of people have asked about going to Pennsylvania or Ohio, and I've said, please don't. It's because we have two candidates who are really working their tushes off. I mean, we've had Darrin Russo tells me he's hit 35,000 doors. I think that was a week ago. So
Wow.
And Judge Singleterry is one of those people who firmly believes the third time is a charm. We asked him to step up twice, he stepped up both times, and this time we promised him that it's this kind of an election that will give him the best opportunity. I want you to listen to Darrin Russo for a few minutes, and then Doug. Come on, Darrin.
Few minutes now. I told a few seconds on this one, sorry. When I was asked how I'm feeling, I said I was tired, but it's a good tired. Feet are hurting, but it's a good hurt. So we got about, 3 days left? We're getting out there, we ain't stopping. We are pushing over 45,000 actually, and we're gonna finish it off. My crew, a couple of them came out tonight. We're just out there, and we're doing it, and I thank everybody again for all your help. And I think we're gonna be pushing 50,000 homes by the time we get done with this thing, so it's a good thing. The hurt is good, good hurt.
Hopefully we're going to be able to call him Sheriff Russo in a couple of days.
Yeah, sure.
And now Freeholder Clint Singleterry, we hope.
Thank you. You know, this election in the county, it's going to go down to the wire. And I know that because the county Republicans have told us that this is going to be close. They've told us by sending out about 10 flyers on Darrin and I, distorting our record. They've told us by making me into a TV star. I went to a bagel shop the other day and a guy asked me if he saw me on a commercial. I said possibly. He wasn't even in Somerset County. But the Republicans, they only do that when they're worried. And that's why, I want to thank everyone who was here making phone calls, because that's what we need. We just have a few more days left, but we can't let up now. We need your help. We need you to make phone calls. Make sure that when people vote, they vote all the way down. Hillary Clinton's going to win Somerset County. Amen. And if she's going to win, we want to make sure that all our local candidates win too. So let's go win on Tuesday. Thank you.
So as if that's not enough, we have another amazing opportunity in this county. We know we're lucky enough to have Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman in 4 of our towns. Those of you who are in those towns should be very happy and give her a round of applause. We know she's going to win. We know we're sending her back to Washington, hopefully to help President Hillary Clinton. I love saying that. Madam President, just say that to me once. Madam President! A young man is running against a guy named Leonard Lance, who's had his chance. I'm going to steal your line all the time, Peter. And he's actually giving this guy a run for his money. Those of you who've been around for a while, can you imagine ever seeing Leonard Lance run a commercial against his opponent? We've put up many people who are elected officials, people who've been around for a long time, and Lance never took him seriously. In fact, when he was talking to me about this young man, several months ago, he said, he's a nice kid, tell him to run for Board of Education. Unfortunately, Peter is giving him a run for his money. Maybe because Lance was so dismissive of him. But it's people like Leonard Lance who are making Washington impossible to move forward, impossible to do its job. So I want to now introduce to you, hopefully, our next congressman from the 7th District, Peter Jacob.
My fellow Somerset Democrats, how are you feeling today? Yay! That's the attitude. We are ready for election day. Look, my parents came to this country in '86 with just $20 in their pockets, hearts full of hope, and a 6-month-old baby in their arms, me. 2 months ago, 60 days ago, we were polling at 12% with Republicans. A month ago, we were polling showing that Leonard Lance was at 47%, and we were at 44.5%. The D-Trip reached out to us, said, hey, we want to see some more metrics. We did our numbers, a professional polling company, PPP. Leonard Lance, 45% of the vote. Peter Jacob, 45% of the vote. And Peggy, you say so much better than I do. Leonard Lance had his chance. That is the exact reason why. This is going to be a crucial year, a fundamentally crucial year. Hillary Clinton is going to be our next president without a doubt. But it's going to take our work to get that done. And when she gets there, we have the most progressive platform in the history of the Democratic Party. If we're talking about overturning Citizens United, something Congressman Lance doesn't want to do. If we're talking about investing in our environment and our infrastructure, something Leonard Lance does not want to do. If we're talking about respecting the people of our community, our Hispanic, our Muslim, our Black brothers and sisters, something Leonard Lance is not going to do. We're going to have to get Hillary Clinton elected, but we're going to have people in the House supporting her. And that's what I'm fighting for. Because when we get there, we're going to have to bring those resources down so that Doug and Darrin could do their job. So this is the year, Somerset County. And let me add some other exciting news to this. Here's another reason why we're going to run. Peg also already mentioned it. Leonard Lance is running ads. We could play that game too. Leonard Lance sent out a mailer attacking me, saying that I want to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. I want to get rid of fossil fuels and our reliance on it. It was pretty much free advertising for me. I was like, thank you, Lance. We even sent out a tweet saying thank you. And just the other day, 48 hours ago, U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders sent out an email. We raised within 48 hours. So he sent out 2 emails. We raised within 48 hours $134,000. Right then and there. So many of you already told me you saw the ads on CNN and MSNBC. Spread the word. I do not have to tell this crowd right here that democracy, the democracy that General George Washington fought for, that Susan B. Anthony, that Martin Luther King and Cesar Chavez, the democracy we are fighting for and upholding in 2016. All the revolutionary movements from the American Revolution to the Great Society, civil rights, and the New Deal is up right now. Democracy is not a noun. It is not that button you press on November 8th. Democracy is a verb. You got to get out and get active. We got 3 days Somerset County, I know you will make it happen. Let's make it happen. Let's bring about the change, progress, and prosperity we want to see throughout our beautiful world.
A point of personal privilege as a former English teacher, not so sure about that. Democracy is a verb. We want it to be. We can democratize the world, and if that means getting Somerset County Democrats elected, let's do it. We can maybe change the dictionary. I want to leave you with this thought. This is our year, guys. We've been, many of us, we're all getting gray hair, some of us cover it up, some of us don't. We have some young, fresh faces in the crowd. But we've worked too damn hard to let this slip away. We can't quit now. If we lose this year, guys, it's going to be a long time before we have an opportunity again. So you gotta, I'm going to make you. You have to make phone calls. You have to walk. You have to just, poor John hasn't slept in a couple of days. I told him he can't sleep again until Wednesday. It's so important to us. And it's just, we've got the best candidates. We've had the best candidates for years. We've got towns like Somerville. You look at downtown Somerville. It's an amazing metropolis. Yes. And it's got, great restaurants, great stores, Joel got his tuxedo there last time we had to go out. There's everything you need you can find in downtown Somerville. We have other towns like Franklin that are controlled by Democrats where they just do great things. They have a lot of green space. They have happy people. They have good schools. We don't have enough Democratic towns. Mayor Heck has a great town too, it's just too small. But we can, if we do it this year, we have to do it this year. I just can't imagine having this microphone in my hand on Tuesday night, not being able to say, let me hear it again, Madam President. I can't imagine that, and more importantly, I can't imagine trying to explain how we lost Somerset County this time, because it can't happen, it shouldn't happen. And it better not happen. And if we win this year, guess what? Next year, while you have Phil Murphy running for governor, we can take over the Freeholder board and we can add a few more towns. We could actually finally get to a point where we have our fair share of Somerset County. Yes! Let's make it happen. Let's make history. And make sure none of you guys are strangers. I want you to see me so much in the next couple of days that you're tired of me. And I promise to stay out of your faces for another week or so. Please show up, please work for your candidates, please knock on doors, please stay here, don't get on the bus. Thank you all.